Welcome to Road to Recovery.
Hello and welcome to Road to Recovery with experienced attorney Sagi Shaked. My name is Kevin Rosenquist. Thanks so much for joining us. Today, we're going to talk about Amazon and navigating the delivery truck accidents and legal challenges. So, Sagi, I'm ready for this. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. We all order from Amazon. Well, most of us order from Amazon. So this will be interesting. What are some common types of accidents involving Amazon delivery trucks that you encounter?
Yeah, this is a new and hot topic that we're seeing lately come up because Amazon, you think you're ordering from Amazon, yet what they do is they basically hire companies that they form or help form to deliver your product. So let's first address your question and then we'll go through the rest. But you see them, Amazon has 18-wheelers. They have mid-sized vehicles. They also have people owning their own cars and driving for them and delivering. So there's different types of Amazon deliveries, but we're going to talk about all of them today and how it impacts your case and why you shouldn't believe when you first get their insurance disclosure that they only have, whether it's $1 million in coverage, because they have a lot more. It's interesting how sneaky they are.
So what are the legal responsibilities of Amazon as a company in the event of a truck accident?
So Amazon is a logistics company, right? They make sure that when you order I use Amazon. When you order your products, I don't think there's anyone who doesn't use Amazon, right?
I don't know anyone.
If you have a computer, you're using Amazon, or if you have a cell phone,
you're using Amazon. Yeah.
So, and some people, rightfully so, they make money selling products on Amazon, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
We're more talking about the logistics and how they have their drivers, or what they like to call them as independent contractors, because again, that's trying to avoid responsibility, deliver their products and the pressures that they put on these drivers to make the deliveries under certain time pressures while they're controlling every aspect of the delivery, from the routes they take to where they deliver, to who they deliver first to, and who they deliver second, third, and so on and so on. So Amazon likes to control everything.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. What are some key pieces of evidence you look for when you're evaluating an Amazon truck accident case?
So as soon as you get one of these cases, if it's a trucking case, you want to immediately preserve evidence. So there's preserving the scene. If you can get to the scene right away, hopefully the individual or the family members call you right away, get to the scene, preserve the evidence with your accident reconstruction expert, your human factors expert. What I like to do is get a download of the data recorder. Every vehicle and every truck has a data recorder. Now, some of the individuals, or I would say 99.9% of the truck drivers, have cell phones. These cell phones have pings in them, which means that every time the cell phone moves or hits a certain location, it pings the cell phone towers. So we can know where and when that individual was at a specific location, because when a truck crash occurs, there's a lot to look for. You have your pre-trip inspection to determine, did they check everything? We've had cases where tires flew off 18-wheelers and hit pedestrians. There's all types of cases. So we want to get the cell phone examined, not just for looking at the cell phone. We hire specific forensic experts who go into the cell phone, look at the data, and they can tell if the person was using the phone. So sometimes in the old days, we would just look at the phone and say, oh, you made a phone call. If you weren't on the phone call, you weren't doing anything else. But that's how it started, 25 years ago. Now we've evolved. You can, and I see it every day. How many people have you seen? They're doing this, right? They're driving, they got it, and they're looking at their phones. I see it. I'm on the highway.
Every day.
People are doing it.
Every day.
I know people do it when you get to a stop sign and you're at a complete stop or at a red light. Fine. Even that's not fine, but that's okay. But when you're driving and moving, it's very dangerous. Now, people, it's happened before where they think they can get away with testifying and, they swear up and down they weren't using their cell phone at the time. Maybe they weren't on a phone call, but with a forensic expert, you can tell if that individual was surfing the internet, was on Facebook, was on Instagram, was on Snapchat, WhatsApp, Messenger. You name the app, you can tell if that person is on the phone. So what we like to do is immediately we get one of these Amazon trucking cases, immediately tell Amazon, preserve all the cell phones. We want to get them inspected. Preserve all the data recorders. We want to get those inspected. Preserve every piece of document, file that you have on the delivery systems, every single email that was sent out on this, because what we're going to show, and it happens, we're going to show that Amazon controlled this entire shipment from the moment it left the warehouse to the moment it arrives or supposed to arrive to the individual. They control every aspect of that delivery process. While they try to get away with saying, hey, we just hired this company to do it. No, you didn't. You controlled every aspect of it. So, and Amazon has gotten very clever about it. What they do is they help individuals form companies. They get them their own tax ID as if the individual has any freedom, which they don't, because the individual is not hauling or shipping for anyone else. They're strictly shipping for Amazon. But they make the individual feel as if it's their own business, but they're under the control of Amazon. Now, this all came about, I want to say like 10 years ago or a little longer, when during the holiday season, packages, FedEx wasn't able to get all the packages out, UPS wasn't able to get all the packages out, and Amazon said, this has to change. We're not able to get people what they want for the holiday season. And so they created their own shipping company. And then they realized they were getting tagged. When I say getting tagged, that because they were the shipping company, they were getting hit in trials with verdicts. So they tried to circumvent that by creating this incentive program for people to open up their own companies, and Amazon will supply you with all the business. And that's how they try to get it. But they still control. So the law says when you control someone, you can try to do it where, they're trying to evade some taxes or not pay taxes, and they call them independent contractors, but they're technically still under Amazon control. So that's why I say, don't fall for the trick and believing that Amazon only has $1 million in coverage. They don't. Amazon is worth billions and billions of dollars. And if they're controlling the shipment because they're a logistics company and they control every aspect of it, they're going to be on the hook for the full extent. Don't just settle for what your lawyers are telling you is $1 million if you have more than $1 million in injuries.
How does the claims process work for victims involved in accidents with Amazon trucks? Is it different because of the way that they're doing things, as far as the like you're talking about with these third party, these other companies that they're helping create?
Right. So they're going to have you believe that they're not involved and they're just a logo on the vehicle, which we know is not true. So the claims process works like this. They'll tell you ABC Corporation is ABC Trucking Corporation is the only truck, and I'm just making up a name. ABC Trucking Corporation is the only truck company involved. Amazon's not involved on this. All we did was just fill a shipment online. They are the ones that are responsible for getting the haul, bringing it over to eventually the person who ordered it to their home. But again, that's the farthest thing from the truth, because Amazon is the broker, the shipper, and the hauler, even though they try to play these corporate shell games to avoid responsibility, which they really shouldn't do, because it's not fair. You cause someone harm, you need to pay. Don't create these shell corporations thinking that we're not going to be able to figure it out. A good lawyer will be able to figure it out. A skilled lawyer will be able to figure it out. It does take some time. It does take a lot of effort. And Amazon is fearless when it comes to these cases. They will not get a fair settlement. They will make you fight. They will make you go to trial, because they do not want to be associated with them paying on claims. They know the majority of lawyers are not skilled or in tune to what's going on, and will fall for that trap for the $1 million when they have, and then they're worth billions of dollars. So don't fall for that trap. See someone who knows what they're doing. If you have an Amazon question, we are here to help with your Amazon cases.
What kind of challenges do you face when you're trying to prove negligence in these cases? Like, even if maybe it's not just Amazon, but just the humongous monster corporations that are out there like them.
These monster trucking companies or other corporations, they have a ton of money and they want to beat you down and drag it out. They want people to get tired of fighting. But the good news is the court system is like the equalizer, and we get to be in front of a jury, and the jury gets to, equal that out. So you can have all the money in the world, but when you're in front of a jury, the jury gets to decide what happens. So you don't get a chance to, pound your chest, you've got all this money, because a good, skilled lawyer who knows what they're doing in the courtroom will be able to expose everything that Amazon tries to do and put people through the ringer. And I'm not saying Amazon's a bad company. I'm just saying that they're trying to play shell games when it comes to hiding what's really going on with the logistics and how the delivery process happens. So they try to avoid responsibility by playing those games. Again, it's our job as lawyers to expose that and get it out there so the jury can make that determination. But they do put you through the ringer. It's part of the process. With any big company, they're not rushing to pay people. They know the longer they string them out, the harder it is for these families. If they lose a loved one who's the main provider, it's harder for them to, take the long course and hold out to get full justice. But there are other avenues that can be done to ensure to help the family. There's companies that do help in the meantime, and there's people out there that do help. So don't fall for it. Don't settle for less. Don't rush to settle your cases with Amazon or other big corporations. There's no need to do that. Get full compensation. Make them pay their fair weight for what they cost.
Do you have any notable cases you can share that you've worked on involving Amazon trucks?
There are, but Amazon makes you sign confidentialities on everything because they don't want anything out there in the public. So the cases that we've had with substantial big companies where we've gotten substantial results, there's one of them in excess of 9 figures that settled. So they make us sign confidentiality, so we can't really talk about them specifically.
All right. Don't come after us, Bezos. We're not saying anything on this show here on Road to Recovery.
Right. Keep it nice and clean.
It's interesting to me because, like the shell games you're talking about as far as how they're trying to get out of having to pay some of these claims. They had to know people would figure this out. So it's worth it to them because it works enough times where it's worth it to them? Is that kind of how that transpires?
Yeah, you have a good question. They play the numbers. The majority of time, most people will go to a lawyer who is not versed in Amazon, and sometimes they take the quick money. It's a quick $1 million, but the reality, the case is worth 10 million, and you took 1 million because you believe that's all they had in insurance coverage. Not fair to the client. That's not real justice. That's not even half justice, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say don't take their word for it. Look into it. Uncover every rock, and you can uncover those policies. You just got to work. And it does take a lot of time and it does take a lot of work, but it's out there to obtain. You just got to work at it. And if you don't know, you can call an attorney like myself or some other lawyers who will be able to help you uncover that stuff.
Is there a difference as far as if it's one of the 18 wheelers versus if it's one of the electric vans that are always driving around my neighborhood?
Sure. Yeah. There's different rules and regulations that are applicable to 18 wheelers. And then there's different setups that Amazon has for the vans and the cars as opposed to the 18 wheelers. Again, they make it very complex. When looking at it from the outside, it looks like, yes, this is a company that it's not Amazon. But again, go down to the nitty gritty on every detail. They control every aspect. So it's your job as a lawyer or individual, if you're representing yourself, to look at the nitty gritty of every single detail from the moment that package is packaged to the moment it leaves. Where is the control? Always try to show control, and you'll be able to get around that and be able to make the claim against them. Any
other tips you could give to accident victims on how to protect their rights and interests after an accident involving an Amazon vehicle?
If you were injured by an Amazon truck, do not try to do that on your own. Call us. We're here to help. We will walk you through it. This is what we do. Trucking cases, Amazon cases, any big trucking companies, we will walk you through it to ensure you get the most amount of compensation, fair compensation for what you went through. Don't let them take advantage of you. We're here to help.
Thank you very much for that, Sagi. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for listening to Road to Recovery with Sagi Shaked. If you want to get in touch with Sagi, please visit shakedlaw.com. And also, of course, please like and subscribe and stay up to date on all things Florida brain injury, trucking company. Sagi knows it all. So thank you very much for joining us. And Sagi, thanks for being here.
Yeah, happy to help.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.